Hi, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for tuning in to Denise's Island Dream. Thank you, subscribers. If you're coming back, returning to watch me over and over again, I do appreciate you. And if you're watching for the first time, thank you for tuning in. This channel, it's all about my journey. So it's a spiritual journey, and of course, the spiritual is all about being in the natural as well. So I talk about how my dream came about to be fulfilled, and the journey goes on, and I am actually on a truth path. I went on a truth path in 2020 after the pandemic. I just thought something's not right in the world. And I just said, God, I want to know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me, God. And it's been amazing since then. That's what got me into my dream. To come to Jamaica, and so many things have unfolded about my life, and it continues to unfold. And I have to know the truth about me, what's going on in my heart, and it can be overlooked. You can just bypass things and think that it's okay, but I now know at this point in my journey, and with all the things that I've learned spiritually, that there are some things that when God brings it to the surface, it's just not in your best interest, not in my best interest to ignore it. I have to embrace it and look into it and get help from the divine realm to get it sorted out. So now, I started this YouTube channel it's coming up to 3 years now, because I'll be in Jamaica 3 years in September. And through YouTube, I met, we've now become good friends, Raquel, returnee Rack. And she reached out to me on the channel, and, got my number, and we exchanged numbers and kept in touch. She was in England, I was in Jamaica, she was coming out, and and we've visited each other, stayed at each other's houses, and things are really, really good. So a few weeks ago, when she was saying, because her daughter's got a YouTube channel, which she's had for, she's been doing YouTube even when she first reached out to me, it was through her daughter's email. And then when I, sort of clicked onto her, the profile, realised that she got a channel. So that's been going for a bit. So, so with Raquel, we, in contact and everything. And then a few weeks ago, she basically said, because she'd been doing TikTok and shorts, I wonder if I should, do it. She was talking to somebody and they were saying, why don't you just do a channel for yourself? And I said, yeah, go for it. And then she says, oh, I don't like the way I talk. I don't like the way, sometimes my voice is that and the other. I went, stop criticising God. That's how God's made you. So, there's nothing wrong with the way that you talk. I said, look, just be you. Just be you. And I said, look, at the start of anything, and it was the same with me, and even sometimes now, there's a bit of nervousness. And, but once you get used to something, it gets easier. So, she had a few encouragements from different people, encouraged her as best as I could. And she started the channel, to date now. It was less than 3 weeks ago. And her channel just blew up. Just, the numbers just were growing, growing, growing. And she called me yesterday and she's hit 1,000. Wow, which is really good. And I'll tell you, because I've just got to be transparent and vulnerable. And I know when things come to the surface, it's got to be addressed. And I felt some jealousy. I really did. And then there was this like a competitiveness that was rising up in me, a comparison. And then I thought, Denise, you got to deal with this. This has to be dealt with. I tell you, this morning in my meditation prayer, and this is how I do it, when I don't feel right about something, or there's some kind of negative feeling, or my energy level feels low, because we've all got a vibrational signature. And I know when I'm vibing high, I understand the energies around me and what makes me, uplifts my spirit, and you feel yourself like, whoa, your frequency has increased. And there's other times where your vibration kind of goes down. And it could be because of the people that you're around. It could be that you're picking up their energy. So I'm very sensitive with that. And, it could be something about you that God's showing you. And in this case, it was about me. And I said, nah, because this is ego and I can't afford. No, I'm living too much of a blissful, fulfilled life to make anything lower my vibration. And it is up to me, it's up to us to keep our vibration at a high level, because the higher your vibe is the more connected you become with God. So because I'm on this conscious path and I'm aware of a lot of things, I know that this will affect me, and if I don't deal with it. And because there are universal laws, and when we go against them, knowingly or unknowingly, it will affect our journey, affect our, we kind of stay like separated from God. We're the ones that separate from God. God doesn't separate from us. So until we've learnt certain lessons in life, we can't move to the next level. So as you're growing and you're developing yourself spiritually, personally, in every aspect of life, you feel yourself growing. I mean, I do. I come into the place of prayer and I'm on another level of energy. I can go out in the garden and just, I've got all this energy that I release into doing the land and other things. So I knew that, God, we got to deal with it like, I want to deal with this like now, like today. I don't want to carry anything. I don't need any baggage. I've been releasing baggage that I've accumulated over the years, and things that have been holding me back. And that could be through my own doing, or it could be, through the doings of the people that have been around me. So people, there are sometimes that there are people that aren't supposed to be around you, and either they'll remove themselves, God will remove them, or it's just a natural separation. You just find that, you just drift apart. Don't cry over spilt milk. It's just how it's supposed to be. When you're vibing at a certain level, there's only, you're shaking off people all the time. You're not carrying the same people. Yes, there are people that have been in my life since I was, young, in my childhood, and, have been a part of my life to this point. And there are people that will be a part of your life until you leave the earth. There are others that are for a season, but there is nobody that crosses your path by accident. There is nothing that is, nothing in life, nobody that crosses your path that is random. Everything is divinely orchestrated. And when you learn to read the signs and you respond in the way that is in alignment with Creator, with God, then, all our minds have been veiled. The veil starts to thin more and more, and then things begin to happen. Life works out, you become fulfilled, you live your dreams. And that's how it is. It's a journey, step by step journey, which is why I said in a previous video, we are all unique. We're at a different pace, all of us. So I don't expect everybody to see things the way that I see it, because there have just been different things that have been revealed to me, and spiritual things can't be explained. It's an experience. So that said, and God was showing me, it's coming to the surface, and I'm thinking, no, I've got to deal with it. And so that's what I did. I said, God, I thank you. And in fact, this is what I've learned on my journey, and it's a spiritual practice that works. It works. I learned it from other people that are at an advanced level spiritually. So, there's people that when they're at a certain level, I think, yeah, what have you done to be where you're at? And that's who I learned from. Those are my teachers. And so, and a lot of them, when they're at an advanced level, they're doing the same thing. And that is this. So, say the jealousy then. And I said to, I spoke to the jealousy. And, we're all here on this earth having a human experience, but we're spirit beings first. And we're experiencing every emotion there is to experience. And that's okay. And even the negative emotions, anger, jealousy, and all that, they're experiences that we have to kind of work through. So we have layers and layers of stuff that we've been preconditioned with, we've been programmed. We've had influences through, TV, media, all that has made us who we are, and a lot of things I'm having to unlearn. So I acknowledge things as they come my way. And so I said to the jealousy, I thank you. Thank you, jealousy. And we've got to do this without no judgment. You've served your purpose, and I thank you for that. But now I'm releasing you back to the universe for recycling. Because you're no longer serving me. And I did the same with competitiveness. Thank you, competitiveness, for showing up. But you're no longer serving me, so I release you back to the universe for recycling. And I did the same with, comparison and whatever else was coming to my spirit. Those are the three main things coming to my spirit. And that's the ego self. No, I'm leaning into the light of God within me. So I let it all go. And then, I was just starting to think about Raquel. There's something to learn from people. Now, she contacted me. She's contacted loads of people because she wanted to move to Jamaica. So she was doing searches of people who have moved to Jamaica, and, and that was what she was doing. So she was reaching out to everybody, different channels, some that come to Stone Island. There's just different ones come, that she was reaching out to and contacting people, and like she did with me, and they've built up relationships. She's a very sociable being. it is no surprise when you look at it. She's reaping what she's sown. She has put in, reached out to people, very sociable, and now, in less than 3 weeks, honestly, we can learn something from this. I'm certainly learning. She's just gone all out. She's subscribed to so many people's channels that they're subscribing to her channel. And that is a perfect example of, in life, you reap what you sow. And she's sown into so many people's channels. She's sown into mine. It's actually, she upped my numbers and got me to over 1,000. So it's like jealousy. You know what I mean? You pack your load. Pack your load. Because the thing is, what you want for somebody is what you'll get for yourself. If I think bad or negative about somebody, I'm actually thinking that about me. It's just a projection. And, if I'd have given into those feelings, I'm going to reap the rewards of it. Well, reward the consequences. It isn't nice. And this is how we grow. This is how we can let go of some of these emotions that don't serve us. And this is how we get to see God more, to know God more, to hear God more, to live our dreams. You don't just get there. I mean, Raquel, she shared a story. I mean, subscribe to her, returnee RACK. And, she went to England, moved from Jamaica to England. And the first thing she's thinking of is, I need a property. I need a property back in Jamaica. And she did that. She just went and got a loan, and it was paid for in 3 years. So she's a get up and go and just get things done person. She don't drag her feet. I like her because she's just straightforward. She would just tell you things as it is. Those are the kind of people that God is now bringing into my life. The ones that are false, going round in circles, and you don't really know who they are until something comes up. And then you think, God, I didn't know that you was that person. But no. So she's reaping the rewards, basically, is what she's got. And when you can celebrate with somebody that has got to that stage and learn from them, then it will work for you as well. God is no respecter of people. There are universal laws. What you sow is what you'll reap. What you want for others is what you'll get for yourself. You celebrate with others, you're going to get that yourself. It is just a universal law. It's God's law, and it works, period, whether it's in the positive or in the negative. If, say, I'd have given into the jealousy and I had now, cut off from her then and start having bad feelings in my mind towards her, that's defiling me. And that'll hinder my growth. It doesn't even just hinder it, you actually descend. You get further away from God. I've learned too much, and it's like, no way. So, there was like, I went through several months of as I'm learning to hear God and develop gifts and that. And then I think I said it before about the author of Conversations with God, and how he just got like downloads and was writing. I said, God, well, if you could do it for him, you can do it for me. And it's true. Anything that you see happen in my life can happen in your life. Just connect with God. You might think, I wish I'd have done certain things at a certain age? Why didn't I just, I had an opportunity to say buy a place I could have, years later, I could be doing that. It doesn't matter where you're at. It really doesn't matter. God knows where you're at. And God's got a plan. And if you follow him to the T, he'll show you. You know, you could have a YouTube channel, it could just blow up. A business comes through it, and then you end up just doing what you want to do in life. Anything can happen. Just walk with God, just do the right thing, just follow your heart, just be a unique self. Just, don't compare with anybody because you're you. God's working in your life, in my life, my unique path. And so all things are possible. So it's not where you've been up until now, it's where you go from here and, moving forward. So, I used to do a lot of automatic writing because I'm developing myself spiritually and learning to hear God. And, I'd just be, as I receive it, just put the pen to paper and say, God, what do you want to say to me? And I'd just start writing. And some of the things would be like, whoa, where did that come from? And this is how God showed me about the man that I was married to, that he was a narcissist and that I was in danger, basically. And then the God told me, the one day I'm writing, that I'm an alchemist. I'm thinking, what the dickens is that? And I had to look it up. And I'm thinking, okay, so, alchemists were turning metal into gold. And God was basically saying, whatever situation you're in, you can turn it into something, you can turn it into gold, essentially. It's your perspective, it's how you look at it, it's how you respond to the situation. It's, are you following the guidance from your heart? Or are you going with the monkey mind and just going with the emotions? The emotions are all over the place. But your heart, when you're connected with God, and that's why I do a lot of heart clearing, chakra clearing. I do that every day, and I ask for the, the Arcturians. That's another story, to unblock, heal, repair, balance, and open. And I go through all my chakras, and I'm feeling, seeing, experiencing the difference in my life. So with an alchemist, it's like every challenge that you might face. Look, Romans chapter 8, verse 28, and it's something that I've declared over the years, that God works all things together for good. All things work together for good to those who are called according to the purpose of God. And I believe that means to those who have decided enough is enough, I'm going to start listening to God. God, I want to know you. God, I want the truth. I'm ready. And when you say that from your heart, honestly, it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and it's also arduous. It's tough at times, but the reason why it becomes easy, it's like when you've offloaded and dealt with that shadow work, you've worked on the shadow self, life does become bliss. It really does. Difficulties and challenges become an illusion because you know that this is actually a stepping stone into my destiny, or this is, it's like that we have a higher self. There's a better version of us, of each of us. So, acknowledging certain things, so acknowledging the jealousy, acknowledging all that, and releasing it is, I'm becoming a better version of me. So my higher self is evolving, and I'm evolving as well. The higher self is expanding, I'm expanding as well. So the higher self is bringing you to a higher place and essentially ascending to heaven. You know, we are making our own heaven, we are making our own hell by our choices. And I could choose, okay, I'm going to stay in the jealousy. Not for me. Or choose, well, no, I'm dealing with you and you're not going to be a part of me anymore. And thanks a lot, but off you go. And I tell you, it's a really, really good feeling. It really is. So, yeah, so it's an encouragement for, you know, anybody who's, you know, a new creator, or you're finding your channel not growing. You know, check your heart first, you know, that's number one. Another thing that I've learned from Raquel, she's consistent, and she's posting frequently. And the person, a couple that stayed here, actually said 3 videos a week. Well, that was probably God saying 3 videos a week, Denise, but I'm going, nah, I can only manage 2. Well, it's time to change that to 3 a week. You keep doing the same things all the time. It's insanity to think you're going to get a different result. It's going to stay exactly the same. So, yeah, embrace that, you know, and God will give you the content. God will, you know, things will just come. And the other thing is, be your authentic self. No, just be you. You know, I remember when I was a pastor and I used to listen to Joyce Meyer, and I used to say to God, oh, I want to be like Joyce Meyer. And it's like, no, you jolly well don't. Because, you know, I don't see everything about Joyce Meyer. Yes, things have been coming out over the internet. That's not for me to go into now. But you can only be you. You know, the best person that I can ever be is me. You try to be somebody else, it's a facade, it's a mask. Eventually, it's going to just fall off. You know, eventually, you're not going to be able to keep up with the facade. You know, there's a lot of fakery, a lot of, there really is fake people like wearing masks. But when the mask begins to fall off, who are you now? So it's better to be, you know, what you see is is who I am. It's what you get, basically. So yeah, you know, I wish and pray all subscribers well, and Raquel, continue to abound. And I tell you, the way that you're going, you will be monetized very soon. I mean, this is, I know she won't mind me saying, you know, she's always been used to working. And so coming, you know, and her husband, God bless him, off, you know, you go with the girls, I'll stay here and I'll maintain you. Now, in her heart of hearts, there's certain things she wants to do, and this is potentially a business for her, just as it's, you know, a business for myself, a side hustle, whatever you want to call it, potentially. So why would I want to go into that energy of not wanting her, well, the ego saying, well, oh, being jealous and wanting her to stay down and look forward to her downfall? Why would I want that? Well, that is exactly what would happen to me. That is a universal law. But when you want good for what she wants is what I want. So I'm celebrating with Raquel, and in doing so, I'm celebrating my own life. My own life is prospering as well. Do good and good follows, honestly. It really does. Do bad, and oh my God, I pray that you learn through that bad. so that you come to a place of doing good. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave it there. And thank you so much for joining me. And can I just ask for you to like and to share? And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I share my journey as I'm going along. And people that have been following, yeah, there's been a lot of occasions where people have been concerned about my safety. Um, but you know something, God's got my back. God's in my corner. The universe is conspiring in my favour. And may God, have your back. God does have your back, actually. You probably just don't know it. And yeah, and my prayer is everyone watching would have, something would have shifted in your own life. And, you know, you'll see things differently and begin to see things from the perspective of God. Because that's what I always ask for. God, I want to see things in your perspective, how you see things. So yeah, I did say I'm going to leave it. I'm definitely leaving it there. So it's bye for now from me. Mwah, sending you lots of love. Bye.